Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Emily and today is going to be my life update video. This video has been asked by a lot of subscribers because people want to get caught up on what's going on with us. Before we get into the video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring that bell. That way you're notified of all the latest here at EP Life. And without further ado, so I know I mentioned in my month 5, month 6 video that July was a very rough month for us. August was worse in regards to Nala. So we've been getting a lot of questions and concerns about Nala. We noticed the second and third week of August with Nala that Nala was behaving a little differently. She's a cat, and cats are usually pretty good at cleaning themselves, and we started to notice that whenever Nala walked past us, she smelled really bad. And we were trying to figure out, okay, you know, maybe she got something stuck on her fur. She is a long hair cat. We assumed that she got something stuck on her fur. I took it upon myself to fully brush her hair and give her like a trim of hair around like her booty area, her girl area, just to like, you know, clear the way in the event things get stuck. For those that don't know, Nala is a long hair cat once again, but she hates being groomed, so that doesn't make the situation any easier. Despite trimming her hair, despite grooming her, despite brushing, using a waterless shampoo, she still smelled really bad. Now, we started to notice as the days progressed, her booty area, and let me just say really quick, if this is not for the faint of heart, you should not be watching this because it can get a little graphic. We found that by her booty area, it started to progressively become very, very dark. And we noticed that she was consistently trying to lick the area. She wasn't really scooting. She did need her anal glands expressed before. We thought it was just something of that nature. One day, the three of us, me, myself, David, and Lucas, we went to Target, which is like an hour walk away from us, an hour back. We went to Target, came back, we noticed Nala was in and out her litter box. In and out, in and out, in and out. And we noticed, like I would say the 4th attempt of her being in and out, she was dripping blood. So it was an instant red flag because I was like, oh my god, something's wrong with her. Now I have horrible PTSD losing my 3 dogs growing up. So I was instantly hysterical because I felt like, here I go again. I'm back in this situation where I'm falling in love with an animal and the animal's gonna die. So, got in touch with Nala's vet. Now, just for visibility, Nala is an indoor cat. She has not been to the vet since right before lockdown in January. And the reason why is because it's not about finances. It was just for the simple fact that Nala is an indoor cat. And during the pandemic, they were not allowing owners in with their pets. And I personally did not feel comfortable with that because if they're rough on her, if something goes wrong, you know, these representatives, you know, these doctors, these vet techs, they work with animals all day. There's bound to be something that they're going to forget to tell me. And it's not like they were letting me FaceTime or anything while she was in there, so I just opted not to take her. Finally got her into the vet. She's had the same vet, I would say, since she was about 3, 4, 5 months old. The last time Nala went to the vet, she was, I would say, 3 pounds or 2 pounds overweight. They said her weight should be 14 pounds, but she was 16 pounds, which, as an indoor cat, a spayed indoor cat, I don't know how they expect her to, you know, be on a slim fast plan, but it is what it is. The doctor completely and utterly chewed me out. Like, this doctor asked, why hasn't this cat been to the vet? And I said, you know, the pandemic hit, I'm high risk of catching COVID, and I have underlying conditions. My husband actually, you know, it was believed that he had COVID when the pandemic hit. He was an essential worker. He was riding the subway, which is covered in germs. And right after that whole situation, both in 2020 and in 2021, I miscarried. I mean, I got pregnant. I didn't tell her about my miscarriage, all of that. I didn't get into that. But within both the year 2020 and 2021, I was, in fact, pregnant. She chewed me out, saying people have babies every day. She chewed me out, saying that they were open during the pandemic. It was no excuse to not bring her it was no excuse to take her off of this overweight management food. They had put Nala on the Purina OM dry and wet food, which I stopped giving to Nala because, truth be told, she was greedy and she kept asking for food, so I found it to be pointless and I was spending all this extra money. I instantly get a quote of what it's going to be to treat Nala. So they had to give her injection of antibiotics, steroids. They sent me home with a powder to put in her food. Something else. 3 injections of, I think, steroid, anti-inflammatories, the exam. They gave her a sanitary clipping. They cleaned the whole area. $780. Now, without hesitation, I reached for my Care credit card and paid for it. Now, fast forward, the doctor also wants me to get a urine sample, which, I mean, have you seen a cat go to the bathroom? Like, it's a process. I don't know how you expect me to get a urine sample from this cat, especially a cat that's so private when she goes to the bathroom. Like, sometimes Nala won't go in her litter box if there's somebody in the bathroom. Like, having Lucas has changed her. Before, her and I would pee at the same time. Now it's like, sometimes she will, sometimes she won't. Fast forward 2 weeks later, I notice that her butt, it's not so much her girl area. It's her whole butt. The butt is still brown. The butt is still black. I just can't fathom what is going on, especially when they're ruling out that her, at this point, they're saying, hey, you can stop putting the powder in her food, her UTI should be done, right? Oh, and they also took blood. So, fast forward to 2 weeks later, I'm like, hey, she still has a brown butt. I bring her back in, they clean her again, they proceed to tell me that I need this urine sample done. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. I need to bring her in again to give her another shot of anti-inflammatory, another shot of steroids, pay for a sanitary clipping again. $300. Now, by the grace of God, I'm sitting here in the room with Lucas. David magically catches the urine sample, because we had a cup like on the entrance of the bathroom. We had a cup right next to the litter box, and we were like, whoever's in the area that can get it, get it. Got the urine sample. I kid you not, this is now, I would say, the week that we're supposed to leave for Long Beach. I waited in the office 3 hours for a 20-minute test. And I was just texting back and forth with David because he was home with the baby, and I'm like, I'm done with this vet. I know that she's very passionate about her job, but I'm very passionate about my job, and I don't yell at my clients in regards to how they treat said items that they own. As much as I want to, I don't. So the fact that she yelled at me and chewed me out for being pregnant was severely a low blow, but we are where we are. After waiting 3+ hours, found out that her urine was perfect because, oh, I forgot to mention this. There's going to be a lot of backtracking because, again, now we're going into October, so this was at the end of August, and you're lucky if I remember what I ate for dinner yesterday. So the doctor proceeds to run an x-ray when I first brought Nala in to see the extent of the damage of this UTI, to tell me that Nala has crystals in her bladder, and that's why the urine sample was so important, because Nala, we needed to determine whether or not Nala had crystals that she could pass, or was she going to need surgery. And right out the gate, the doctor was trying to tell me she could not do this surgery, and I would have to take her to this medical emergency center for animals in New York, which is crazy expensive. And David and I were both crying. We were trying to figure out, okay, how are we going to pay for this? They want deposits. They want all of this stuff. You know, we're still in the first year of our child's life, which by far is the most expensive year of a child's life. I think the other only more expensive year is when they go to college. Like, I don't know. It's just so expensive. So when we finally catch this urine sample, I find out that my cat's urine is perfect. Perfect. Like, to the T perfect. I literally left the doctor's office and everybody thought my animal passed away, because that's how hard I was crying in relief that she's not going to need surgery. It's not any kind of crystals that she can't pass on her own. It's, you know, nothing dangerous in the bladder. Like, her urine came out perfect. She had a follow-up, I would say 4 days later, but her doctor, which later on apologized for me for being such a person, I'll just leave it at that, this is a family channel, was not going to be present. So I would have to see the backup doctor. I, for one, fell in love with the backup doctor. The backup doctor, when I saw him, he was like, hey, do you want to explain to me your situation, like your story as to what's going on with your cat, and then I'll look at the charts. I explained everything. He looked at her area and he said, listen, this is the situation, right? Nala is a big breed. She's a big cat. She is overweight. But if we change her portions of food, instead of giving her food every time she cries, which unfortunately is what we were doing, she'll lose weight. And within the span of seeing one doctor to the next doctor, Nala had already lost 1 pound, which was insane. He gave me tips and tricks on how to feed her. Like, instead of giving, like, wet and dry, just give her just wet, because it'll encourage her to pee more, and give her this special urinary tract food that would help break down whatever crystals are in there, flush them out. He gave me another x-ray. He said the crystals are in there. It's hard to count how many they are because they're so small. And because her urine came out perfect, as long as she continues to pee, and as long as she doesn't strain herself to pee, she's good. So it was definitely a 360, which I proceeded to, by the time I finished all of this with Nala, me and the lady at the front desk, like, we're best friends. So I told her, that man is the only man to see my cat. He's the only vet in this office. I want seeing my cat. If, of course, there's an emergency, I'll see the other doctor. But the other doctor, like, I've just totally lost respect for her. I definitely feel the pandemic changed her, as it changed a lot of people. And it is what it is, but I just don't like the way I was treated in regards to my cat. So needless to say, Nala is now on a different food. She is doing a lot better. However, the only challenge David and I are currently having is every day to every 2 days, we have to clean her area. And it's not the best experience for us. I mean, David has to kind of like pin her down to do it, and I have to lift her tail and have my phone and the flashlight and kind of just scrub the area. And I literally have to tell David, you know, say when, you know, let me know that she's going to get ready to bite him or like lose it, and then we have to stop. I kid you not, it's not even maybe 3 minutes that we're able to do it, but within the 3 minutes, she does let me get a lot done. The vet explained the reason why we have to do this is because until she loses enough weight, she can't reach to clean herself. And that's how the UTI happened in the first place. You know, anatomy real quick for a cat. Here's one hole for the butt, here's the other hole for the other thing. So whatever falls here lands here. So that's why she got the UTI in the first place. So she is doing better. Aside from that, she is peeing like a freaking racehorse. She loves the new food. Luckily with Nala, her first year was the worst with food in terms of aversion. She's doing a lot better. She loves the food. The only thing that's kind of annoying now is I have to wake up in the middle of the night to feed her, which isn't the end of the world, but when I wake up with, and then I have, it's annoying. But needless to say, Nala's medical expenses set us back about $1,600 between 2 visits, between the 2 initial visits, the follow-up visit, 2 visits for food, because she's on a special food, blood work, x-rays, urine test. It's definitely set us back a pretty penny. And between that and the inflation, it's kind of ridiculous. We also had a situation where David's job, where one company took over for the other company, in which pay was affected. So David and I went a good almost 2 months without the correct pay, which caused us to have to move things around. And it doesn't help. Like, we save money on cable. We don't get cable, but we have all of these streaming services. And it's just crazy that one company that owns 2 of our streaming services want to increase both by $2. You know, and everybody uses our streaming services and they give us money, but still it's just getting to a point that I don't feel it's worth it anymore. So that's where we are with that. The inflation definitely hit us very hard, as I've mentioned in previous videos, but we're definitely doing better. But Nala's bill definitely took us for a loop. It hit us very hard. We're looking at the glass half full. We're grateful that we have the means to pay her medical bills and still be afloat. It's just, you know, we have to cut back on certain things for a little while, which I'm fine with as long as my cat is happy and healthy. Like, her and Lucas have a relationship now. Like, he recognizes her, and even though he may not remember this time when he's older, I'll remember it. And I'm like, I would never forgive myself if something happened to my best friend, let alone his new best friend. We did start a GoFundMe for Nala. A lot of people have been asking for that information. I'll leave it linked down in the description below if anybody wants to take a look at it. You do not need to donate anything. We've received several donations already, but if you're inclined and you want to do so, the link is in the description below, even if you just want to leave us some words of encouragement. I also want to address a few comments that were brought to my attention. There are several people that have been trying to spread the word in regards to Nala and her GoFundMe, in which several comments were made that we shouldn't be putting our cat before our son, that we shouldn't be taking food out of our son's mouth to pay for our cat. If our cat's bill met a specific threshold, we should have put our cat to sleep. I'm not going to stoop to that level and use any foul or disrespectful language, but the person that felt the need to say said things, or people that feel the need to say said things, are miserable human beings and are miserable for their life choices and have a lot of envy and jealousy towards my family, whether they want to admit to it or not. And we never, nor will we ever, take food out of Lucas's mouth to put it into Nala's, or vice versa. We planned our cat. We planned our child. These are not happy accidents. And with that being said, unnecessary and unexpected expenses are going to happen all of the time. And especially in this world, surviving a global pandemic, they're just going to happen. So what I will say at the end of the day is misery loves company, and jealousy is a very real thing. It's very ugly, and the people that made those comments are no longer in my life. And my son wants for nothing between his parents, let alone his grandparents, which are a whole different kind of breed of grandparents. Let me tell you, they are built different. They love this kid more than anything in the world, and I really believe that all Lucas has to do is, and they will come running. So I really don't, and that's not to say that Lucas is a spoiled, rotten child, but he literally wants for nothing. He's just surrounded with so much love, and jealousy is just a horrible thing. I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm not going to entertain it anymore. I just wanted to get on camera to address it because it was brought to my attention. We've also been going through this situation with our building and our apartment. So I want to say around the same time, if not a little before, I noticed that a part of our ceiling, I don't even know if I have a first picture, but I may insert a picture. I noticed that the column in our bedroom appeared to be leaking. It looked brown, and it looked like it had definitely started to leak. We called building management. They were like, oh yeah, totally. It's a leak. We're behind on plumbers. We'll get back to you. A week later, David and I noticed dripping from the ceiling in the bathroom. Then we noticed dripping next to the ceiling in the bathroom. And In New York, like, you have 411, like, to call to look for a phone number or a person. In New York, we have 311, and that's how the city files complaints. I don't know if everybody else has that. But we called 311 on our building management and got them involved. Then somebody from the city came, said there was a ton of violations in our apartment, and up until today, which is September 28th, we filed this complaint August 12th. We were made aware that somebody filed the complaint August 1st. So we're going on month 2, still trying to get this rectified. But basically what it boils down to, the person that lives 2 floors above us owns their apartment and doesn't want to fix their leak. So it's affecting the apartment above us and us. There's damage to my bathroom. There is continued damage to my bedroom ceiling. It's right above our bed. My argument is, I like to argue the fact that in the middle of the night, what's to happen if it caves in on me and my baby? And that's what's starting to get the ball rolling. So we'll keep you guys updated on that. I believe we have an update for Friday. Somebody's going to get involved, whether it's with us or the apartment upstairs. But I will keep you guys in the loop in regards to that. But that's also been a stressor because we pay our rent every month religiously. And right before the pandemic hit, our rent went up. And we obliged and we paid all of that. And just because somebody owns their apartment, that doesn't give them the right to poo-poo on the people that rent their apartment. So that's where we are in terms of that. With that being said, I just wanted to get on camera and update you guys as to what's going on while we've been a little absent from YouTube, as well as, while we've been not so much hiding, but we've just been trying to get things in order. We're fine, when you're used to things going a certain way and then things change. We just have to shift gears and go about our business another way. It's just the audacity of people. I when that was brought to my attention, there were so many ways old Emily would have reacted to that, but I'm a mom now, and I just don't have the time or patience for things the way I used to, and it's a horrible thing. Like, animals are our children, whether they wear onesies or not. Like, they're our children. But yeah, this inflation is very real. It's gross. I hate going to do groceries now because it's not so much like I don't want to feed my family, which I'm sure that same person will probably say. But it's just, the things that used to be so cheap are so pricey, and the quality doesn't change. If anything, I feel the quality gets worse. But, we just got to keep on keeping on until it gets better. But EP Life will continue to be here, continue to thrive. David's gaming channel is taking off. He is continuing to pick different games. I believe he's leaning towards retro gaming, or a few new games. And also he is leaning on a streaming schedule for the beginning of the week. So stay tuned for that. But I'm going to wrap it up here, guys. Thank you so much again for watching EP Life and our life update. Stay tuned. We have Lucas's first time apple and pumpkin picking coming up. Lucas's 7th and 8th month update. We've getting a lot of comments about more Lucas in the videos. So you're definitely going to get more of him and his bubbly, spicy personality. He's just so cute and perfect. I love him so much. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the video for now, guys. Thank you so much once again, for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, hit that subscribe button, and ring that bell. That way you're notified of all the latest here at EP Life. And once again, thank you so much from myself and David, who's currently on Lucas duty, from the bottom of our hearts for all of your thoughts, well wishes, prayers, some people that donated to Nala. Nala is truly our everything. We just love her so much. She is an emotional support animal of mine as I suffer from severe depression and anxiety, and just cannot thank anybody enough for the positive and warm well wishes. And we'll see you guys next time.